If I don't get this video in, I'm never going to get it in. Just not going to happen. My daughter's crying because she needs a nap. She hasn't had a nap all day. And it's like after 5 and she should not be sleeping. But like I have no choice because she is going bonkers. So we're going to try this intro again. Okay? Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Colette and thank you for joining me here at the Roaring 30s. Now it's been a while since I put up a video, and to be quite honest and to be quite frank, ever since the death of George Floyd, it has been incredibly difficult for me to really enjoy doing videos for YouTube. I had a very hard time. I really put my focus into my community. I wanted to know how I can help. How can I support? Should I protest? Should I donate money? Should I donate water for the protesters? So I've been looking at ways and educating myself about my own Black community because I needed to know and I need to be equipped on supporting us and my children and my community at large. So for me, it was a bit of a heavy few weeks, but I'm trying my best now to kind of bring myself out of that and keep it pushing for our community so that other lives won't be lost in vain. Like, I hope to God, which even though we're still experiencing loss, I hope to God it can come to an end soon. I really do. Because the mental state of, I'm not the only one feeling this heaviness and this weight. So, Black Lives Matter. I wanted to talk a little bit about my relationship and how it came to be. I have to say, I am in a loving, kind, beautiful, funny relationship. I wasn't always in this relationship, obviously. Some of you may know that I was in a previous relationship with my first son's father. That relationship nearly took me out. It nearly took me out because, one, I didn't understand myself. I didn't understand my own standards. I didn't understand my own value. I think I was very selfish in that relationship in the sense that although I was selfless to him and wanting to have our relationship work, I was selfish toward him and our relationship because I was being a bit rebellious toward my mom. My mom had deterred me from making a very important choice in my life, which was to go away for school. And she didn't think it was a good idea to attend school. I'll be honest, to attend school in Jamaica, and so a university in Jamaica. So she really put her foot down. And mind you, at the time, I think I was maybe 23, 24. Now you're probably wondering, like, girl, you're a big girl. How you make your mother stop you? Well, I grew up being yes, mommy, yes, mommy, yes, money. A girl that I wasn't always a good child, but I would try to be as obedient as I could to my mom. I had a very hard time pushing against my mom's word. So when she said no, I couldn't go, it crushed me. It crushed me because it took me a very long time to find my identity and to find something that I'm very good at doing. So prior to applying to the university in Jamaica, I went to school. I went to college, Seneca College, for the radio broadcast program, and I excelled. So I wanted to continue my education in Jamaica because I love culture. I love my culture. I wanted to be submerged in it. I want to understand it more. I just felt like in that moment that I wanted to be in Jamaica. So when that didn't happen, I rebelled. I went to Jamaica, didn't go to school, but I went to Jamaica. And when I went there, I met my son's father. We hit it off pretty well, and I liked him. I thought he was cool. And you know what too, to be honest, he filled a gap. He filled an emotional gap for me in the time that I needed it. And I thought he was cool. So we started hanging out while I was there. I was there for about a month, and then we kept the relationship going after I returned to to Canada. To be honest, looking back now, I don't even think we should have allowed that relationship to go as far as it did, because we really didn't have much in common. I think for me, it was just to be rebellious to my mom. Even though I did care for him, I think that if that was not a pushing factor for me, I would have made a decision earlier on to probably cut the relationship because it wasn't good for me. Anyhow, nothing without purpose. We went on for years. Even within those years, we had our son, Gabriel. And even that was traumatizing for me because I'm a church girl, having a child out of wedlock and with someone who I was not really happy being with. So there was a lot there. Wow. Okay, I'm packing a lot. So after having Gabriel, that's when the test really started swinging, because it was like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna marry him? Are you gonna bring him up here? What are you gonna do with your life? I found that every time I tried to push forward with him, it wasn't working. And I'm gonna tell you, as much as my mom did not agree with our relationship because she felt like it wasn't the right relationship for me, and as much as my mom had stopped me or changed my mind to going to Jamaica for school, my mother prayed for me right through this whole relationship. She prayed for me and she said, Colette, something is not right. I don't think this relationship is for you. But because she had stopped me, like I said, from going to Jamaica, I wasn't listening to her because I felt like no one else is going to tell me how to live my life but me. I am going to find out on my own if this is the relationship for me. Sis and brothers, boy, as I went on in the relationship, I had a lot of spiritual attacks. Things that, like dreams that told me, this is not for you. You need to step off. Seriously. But I didn't know how to I didn't know how to untie the attachment. I didn't know how to emotionally get out of this relationship because I felt like I've put in so much and I had to prove to someone that I was right about this decision. And I held on and I held on and I held on again for the wrong reasons. Oh, lordy. So I'm just gonna sum it up. Fast forward to the end of the relationship. We broke up many times before, but this was the last time. The second and last breakup, I had a dream. It's two women standing before me. I was sitting in a chair. They're wearing big broad hats. And I usually see these women. I assume they're angels. They always come to guide me if in life, to give me a message or to protect me. They came and they said to me, this is not for you. This relationship is not for you. And I accepted it. My grandmother, God rest her soul, told me from Jamaica, this is not for you. You need to leave it alone. Anyway, I broke up with him because I had accepted the message. And it wasn't hard for me because I was already losing interest in the relationship. Anyway, I got wind that he was coming to the States. And something in me, for whatever reason, felt like it was a good idea to gain control again. Have control of this narrative. This is this man's life. If he wants to go to the States, what do I have to do with it? I broke up with him. But me, something in me rose up like, no, this ending has to end with me and him. Like, I had to be in control. So I pushed and I forced my way to be in this man's life again. Let me tell you something. When God gives you a message, more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times, for me, it was so many times I can't even count on my 2 hands. When God says this is not for you, leave it alone, because you will get burned. Because that last round nearly took me out emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, everything. Like, I almost lost it, right? So I entered back in a relationship with him. He did not really want to be with me. He wasn't interested. He was interested in moving on with his life, and rightfully so. We had ended a relationship. And I was trying to hang on. Then I started changing how I dressed. I started changing who I was. I'm trying to be a different person. I'm trying to get him to like me, like how he likes the other girls, because I'm more like a natural girl. So I was trying to be someone that I wasn't. And it didn't work. And because I was trying so hard and wasn't getting the results that I wanted, it crushed me inside. I started saying, I'm not good enough. He doesn't want me. Why doesn't he want me? Look how pretty I am. Look how I dress. Look how I change my clothes. Look how I change my hair. And still he doesn't want me. The emotional stress. So at the end of our friendship, someone else was praying for me and said, let it go. I was at their house. For some reason, I packed my son's bag with clothes and whatever. I went to her house to hang out. And that Friday, she said to me, this is not for you. You need to let it go. Don't answer the phone. Put it away. Don't respond to any more text messages. Put it away. This is going to hurt you. But if you get through this, you'll be fine. That was the weekend I stopped responding to text messages. I stopped looking, I should say, for responses from him, and let go. I cried the whole weekend. I'm not telling you the full story because it's so heavy, but I cried the whole weekend. I had lost control. Everything that I tried to do to get him to see me was gone in vain. I cried the whole weekend. I went to church that Sunday, and I remember walking through the door, and I couldn't even say good morning because I lost everything. I failed. I had been praying to God to save my relationship, and nothing. I thought God was a genie. I thought I could be like, look, God, 3 wishes, 1 wish, I want to be with him. Wish number 2, I want to get married. I want to have more children. And it wasn't happening. I thought you said, God, if I ask in your name. I thought you said, God. I thought you said, God. Oh, my faith in God was like the wind. Like, I just didn't have much faith because I couldn't understand. Why do you keep saying no to me, God? I'm doing everything. I went to church that Sunday. Sister Lori, watching this video, I love you. Thank you so much. I still remember you to this day. I walked into church, I couldn't say good morning, I couldn't make eye contact, I couldn't talk to anyone. And this lady, Sister Lori, was singing on praise and worship. She saw me, and she came down after the worship set, and she sat beside me, and she held my hand, and I just cried. It's like she knew. I just cried. I held her hand probably throughout the whole service until she had to go back on the restroom to sing. It took me a very long time. It took me a few months to really let go and let God and move on. So after that relationship and after that few months of like, okay, Colette, you're gonna be okay, I went into the new year thinking, all right, I think you should start like getting to know people, which I did. And then I realized, like, in meeting new people, there are still men who are waste. No offense, but like waste of time. Older men. Okay, I was talking to a guy that was like almost 40, and like I was shocked. I was like, you're an older man. Like, why are you still behaving like, what's going on? Are we gonna go on a date or not? So then I just said, yeah, ending that. Then I moved on to like dating some other people, and I was just like, honestly, this is not gonna work because you're whack. Like these are grown men. I'm like, listen, I know what I want now. I know what I don't want, and you're still giving me half-assed answers and half-assed solutions. I remember one guy. Listen to this. One guy. I said to him, look, I'm not saying you're the one. All I'm saying is that if you want to talk to me, understand I'm looking for marriage. I'm looking for family. I'm not saying me and you is the one. I'm just saying I'm not trying to just be dating, hopping around. So if this is not for you, that's okay. You know what this guy said to me? Oh, why are Christian girls like that? They always want to know if this is for marriage or not. Yes, because at that point I'm 30 or almost 30. And I want to know, what do you want with my life? Because I'm telling you right now, I don't want to just be dating and chilling and just hoping. I want to know that even if we're not together and maybe we don't work out, that you also want something out of this relationship. So I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. So I met a lot of those. So around that time, I was working a shift job. And it became very hard to find someone to pick up Gabriel after daycare and babysit him while I work to the night or into the evening. So I had to give up that job. I had to go to an agency, find a job as soon as I could. And I went into the right agency because I got a job from, I think, 7:30 to 3:30. So I did my test, the women's and all of that, and a gentleman came in and said, you know what, I know like this job is not really what you're looking for, but we just had something come in. Would you like to just do this job in the meantime? I was like, sure, I'll do anything. I'll take it. Monday I went in to work. Don't see anything extraordinary, just here working at the warehouse. And then Nana walks through the door. Girl. I was like, wow. And I just kept looking straight. Like, he came through the side door and I just said, I'm gonna look straight. At the time, I was working with an older Jamaican woman. God bless Miss Hazel. And she's like, oh, what a nice looking young man. I love her. I was like, yeah. But I wasn't sure about him because I was still talking and getting to know other people. And I was like, doesn't matter, I already know him. That day, I did not sit in the lunchroom. You ever brought lunch to work and it wasn't like a proper lunch? Like it wasn't rice and peas and chicken. It was some fancy looking sandwich. Well, Colette had a fancy looking sandwich. And I just wasn't going to be sitting up in the cab while I'm eating this little fancy sandwich. It wasn't even a sandwich. It was bread and butter. Like if I could sink into a hole, I was like, oh my God, no, I'm not going to sit up there. We might go sauce of bread and butter for lunch. If you know, you know. So anyway, the next day I had pizza. So I was sitting upstairs. I could not even look at him. I couldn't look because I was overwhelmed with shyness. Anyway, I sat down and he's like, oh, you decided to sit with us today. And that was a wrap. We talked every day. Every single day we sat together. Every day we talked about various things. And I remember while working, Miss Hazel was like, look, I know you get to know other people, but I gotta be honest with you. When you're dating and you have a child, you cannot date just for yourself. If you're looking for a man, look for a man that you would want your son to be like. If you know you wouldn't want your son to be a certain way and this man exhibits those characteristics, let him go. He's not for you. And she said, look on Nana. He's handsome, nice, have manners, educated. This is someone you want around your son. I think you should give him a chance. And I said, okay, sure. So we exchanged numbers. We started going on dates. And I thought, wow, I never knew I could meet someone so genuine, so kind, so considerate, so loving, so compassionate. I just never knew I could be with someone like this. I remember after my breakup with Gabriel's dad, I asked God, I said, is there a way that I can love someone and they can love me back without fear? Can I love them without fear? Do I have to reserve something for myself? Because I don't. I want to be able to trust my partner. And I remember getting advice. I don't know if it's just a West Indian thing or a black woman thing, but I was raised to be independent. I was raised to be like, okay, well, you don't know if you're gonna get married, you don't know if you're gonna have a man, and if you have a child, you don't know if he's gonna stick around. So make sure you always have your own period. Don't depend on nobody. And be ready to walk, or understand that he might walk, and that's okay too. So with that advice, oh, and the other golden advice was that men cheat. So give them room to do that because they can't help themselves. I'm not even joking. This is like the advice that I got from like grown people. And it didn't sit well with me because I'm like, I don't want that kind of relationship. And if that's what it's going to be like, then why be in a relationship? I don't want to be in it. Anyhow, I met this person who exceeded my expectations. That year, I never forget, I was praying and fasting and spending time with God. And I could literally feel this man coming into my life. But I did not know him, but I knew he was coming. And I think that's why I started dating, because I was like sifting through to see if I can find him. And you know, they all didn't feel right, but he did. And he met every expectation. It doesn't mean that he's perfect, but he's perfect for me. And that made the biggest difference in my life. And to feel love and feel unconditional love the way I felt it in the last 5 years with this person, I just want to say to whoever is single or whoever may be in a toxic relationship, you are deserving of good, wholesome love. Because with what I've been through, I didn't think I could get that. I didn't even think I was good enough to have that. I didn't think I was physically good enough, like pretty enough, because I was being pushed away. I didn't think emotionally I didn't even think I was a strong woman. I didn't think I was a strong woman to attain a good man like this man. But I want to say, there are good human beings out there. There is someone out there willing to love you, flaws and all, willing to see past certain things, willing to give you a second chance and be patient and kind. I've experienced this love, and now I just want like all my friends and all the people that I love to experience it too, to be this happy. Now, I'm not saying that every moment of every day we are like skipping and dancing and hopping over rainbows. No, we have been through a lot, which one day I'll share some stories with you. But through that lot, seeds were planted. We have grown. We have developed a sacred place where we meet. And I know it sounds so weird. I couldn't find the words the other day, but I found it. It's a place where only him and I exist. And that is where like the unconditional love comes from. I feel like that place is really holy. And I know that if I could experience this love, and if he could experience this love, then you can absolutely experience this love. I would encourage you to let go of the hurt of yesterday. If it takes you day by day, it's okay. If it takes you time by time, it's okay. Start working on yourself. Not for what you think he's gonna want from you, but just be the best version of yourself, because you will meet someone who fits you perfectly. And that's the greatest thing. If you're a person that believes in God, pray. And like, don't pray and be like, okay, God, I need a man, because that's not good enough. Tell God exactly what you're looking for. And the biggest challenge is to ask God to search you. Am I ready for marriage? Or am I ready to be in a committed relationship? And allow God to do the work in you. To bring things up in you that are kind of toxic for this new relationship that he's about to bring you into. And if it's toxic relationship that you're in, with all due respect, leave. I've seen too many women stay in toxic relationships, and now they're in their older age, and I know they regret it. I have witnessed it. If you're young like me, if you're a little older than me, if you can leave it, or you can find a plan of a way to exit it, do it. Your life is a gift, something that God has given you. The God of the universe, who loves you unconditionally and says that you are deserving of every beautiful and perfect gift. So, with the life that he's giving you, if you live to be 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, don't you want to live the rest of your life being free from toxic relationships? Maybe you won't meet somebody right now. You might experience this richness of love with families, your family and friends, which is just as powerful. And this love within yourself, to love yourself, and this love that you have between you and God. Walking with greatness and power and compassion. I want you to experience this love. And I want you to know that you can have it. I know my YouTube video is so long, and maybe my video was kind of general because I didn't hit on specific stories. But the main point of this video was to encourage you today. I'm seeing my friends find real love. I'm over the moon, excited about it. Because when you experience this kind of love, whether it be through a relationship with family, friends, or God, you're experiencing God. These people are God's hands. You know what I'm saying? His hands and his love expressed through them to you. We all make mistakes, but there's redemption. I want you to experience this love. Let's talk in the comments. And if you want me to pray with you, or pray for you, I'll pray. Prayer saved my life. Prayer ushered this love in. Prayer has kept us together. God. So if you're looking for something new, you want to let go of something toxic, or if you're ready to receive this beautiful gift of love, take the chance on yourself. Do the work on yourself. And if you like, I'm here to pray with you as well. All right? Thank you for joining me here on my YouTube channel. I'm just so grateful. And I'm happy for you. If today is the day that you're going to walk away from something toxic, I'm happy for you. And I'm happy you joined me today. Anyway, I love you. Take good care of yourself. And join me for another one of my videos. Bye and take care.